It is the last edition of the platform right here on Flow 94.9 FM. When I say the last edition, it is the last edition for the week. The program comes up on radio every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday right here on Flow 94.9 FM. This is the flow of God's own state. The platform is the pinnacle of all discussions. We take a look at issues as it affected their nation, Nigeria, and also as it affected their state, Abia State. Of course, we take a look at those issues with the aim of finding solutions. My name is Michael Oni. It is still part of our morning show. We call it Morning Spice right here on Flow 94.9 FM. Now, this morning, we're taking a look at the killings that have occurred, the extrajudicial killings that have occurred during this lockdown. You know, there is a lockdown presently in Nigeria by some states of the Federation, and also as directed by the federal government in Ogun State, in Lagos State, and the Federal Capital Territory. But as it stands now, Nigerians are presently condemning the killings by security agents during this lockdown in some parts of the country. We'll take a look at those condemnation. We'll take a look at some of the issues that have occurred during this lockdown, extrajudicial killings. According to the last count by the National Human Rights Commission, 18 persons have been killed by security operatives. We're getting reports from Abia now that another person has been reportedly shot by a security official, but we do not have details right now. But we'll let you know as it stands. But not forgetting what happened in Abia State during this week, when commuters and other road users, that was on Wednesday, were stranded for over an hour on the Umuika Isialangwa South Local Government Area axis of Enugu Port Harcourt Expressway, as youths in that area took to the road to protest the killing of the commercial driver by an official of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Isialangwa Division. Now, detail of the incident, as reported, was gathered that the commercial motorist carrying perishable and non-perishable food items reportedly had a heated argument with the Nscdc personnel. Now, unconfirmed reports also have it that the driver, in the midst of the argument, attempted to drive off before being shot by the Nscdc official. So this incident angered youths in the area, and they attempted lynching the Nscdc official, who narrowly escaped death by the whiskers and ran to a police station in the area for safety. Now, that is at one side. Remember what happened in Delta State, issue of extrajudicial killings in Delta State. But during the presidential task force briefing, the daily briefing on COVID-19 yesterday, the secretary to the government of the Federation, who doubles as the chairman of that task force, issued a stern warning to security officials against overzealousness and also appealed to Nigerians. Let's listen to him.
So much. There was this question that had to do with synergy with the states, as if we are not working in concert. Paragraph 2 of my speech this morning did emphasize that when I said that the Presidential Task Force continues to monitor developments around the country and provide guidance to the subnational entities and all other Nigerians on measures being taken. We are working in a collaborative manner with states all over the Federation. Sometimes even excesses. Knowing the Nigerian people, very, very well, because I'm one. This is not the time to take undue advantage. This is not the time to take undue advantage. This is the time to show our true sense of nationalism in this regard. and to ensure that we do everything collectively to have an upper hand in our fight against COVID-19.
Well, that's just a part of the warning given by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation yesterday during the daily briefing. And now this is coming at a time when the National Human Rights Commission is claiming that security operatives have killed 18 civilians during the enforcement of the total lockdown in major cities in the country over the novel coronavirus. Now, the commission, founded under the special law to monitor human rights violation in Nigeria, said the report it got 105 petitions from families of the deceased through their lawyers and carried out investigations. That, according to Anthony Ojukwu, the commission's head, and said civilians' complaints of brutality and killing by security operatives were received from 24 out of Nigeria's 36 states between March 30 and April 13. So that's the situation. So we'll take a look at this particular issue, extrajudicial killings by our security operatives during this time, during this lockdown period. So we will center our discussion on that. We'll also talk to a member of the civil society group and also a member of the civil society organization, Govt Egwu. And also we will speak to the public relations officer of the Nscdc in Abia State, and also the coordinator of the National Human Rights Commission in Abia State. But right now we do have a member of the civil society organization, Govt Egwu, joining us this morning to take a look at this particular issue. Hello, good morning to you. Good luck.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good to have you join us this morning on the conversation.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I'm sure you're aware of the events in the country, but before we continue the conversation, can you confirm your name?
Okay, my name is Honorable Govt Egwu, the President General of Coalition of Southeast Youth Leaders.
All right. Thank you very much. We read your reaction we read the reaction of your group to the incident at Umuika, right here in Abia State. What exactly did you find out?
Well, from our investigation, the young man that was killed by the Happy Trigger Civil Defense Officer shot the guy because he refused to pass some money. And from our reliable information we got from those who are around that place, they told us that because the young man refused to pass with some money, the civil defense officer threatened to shoot him. He thought he was joking. Before the young man knew it, the driver would know it, he opened fire on him, and he died on the spot. The civil defense officer ran to a close police station for safety. So that was what we were told.
The account of the Nscdc through their press release was that the man attempted to drive over the barricade and almost hit an official. I don't know if it also correlates with your findings.
It is not correct. The truth of the matter is this: you wouldn't expect the civil defense authority to admit that they are fault in this matter.
Okay.
And no matter what happens, nothing gives anybody the right to take the life of another man.
So, as it stands
now,
now,
about life we are talking about here.
Yes, it is about life.
There are rules in handling rifles. You cannot open fire on somebody that has no arms.
So, there is lockdown in Abia State as of that Wednesday, and of course we still have a lockdown here in the state, and it was said, it was released by the government, the directive giving that the cars that will be allowed on the street to drive through the street of Abia State are those that are transporting essential workers and those that are also transporting essential products like food items, perishable and non-perishable goods. Is this man, I mean the deceased now, is he in any way in any of the categories listed?
Yes, and we were told that he was conveying food items to Abia State, mainly Abba. So normally he's not supposed to be disturbed because he is bringing in the essential food, essential items into Abia State. So they stopped him. Maybe he stopped. spoke to them and they demanded for money. That is not only the only place that they demanded for money. So many checkpoints, when they come, those who are carrying the essential goods, when they get to the checkpoint, instead of the security agents to allow them to pass, they will start demanding for money, even when the governor has made it clear that they should not be disturbed.
Interesting.
So yes, if there are 20 checkpoints, they will demand for money. And after all these expenses, these persons will now add the expenses on the goods, which will make the end producer suffer the consequences. So that is the challenge we have been having since this lockdown. They will pay money at different checkpoints and now add it on the goods, and it will make the prices of goods to be high in the market.
Have you been observing the situation in other parts of the state?
Yes. Even as I speak to you, there is another situation now where a Keke man was killed in Orataba Express just this morning.
All right. Well, we also got that report.
There is unrest now in that same place. So this thing is no longer a child's play. The level of killing is high. And when they commit this crime, they will want to defend themselves.
All right. As a member of the civil society organization, what will be your resolution? What will be your advice? And also the next step by the civil society organization?
What we are demanding is simple. We are demanding for a full investigation into this matter. And the culprit must be brought to book. The law must take its focus. This is murder, and it must be treated as such. We are not saying that people should disobey the security agent, but they are not empowered by any law to take the life of another man.
Interesting. A very ugly incident coming from some part of the state and also some part of the country. Thank you very much, Sam. Good luck, Egwu, rather, a member of the civil society organization, for speaking to us this morning on the platform.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir. Thank you.
So our conversation this morning is multifaceted. We will also be talking to the chairman, the chairperson, the coordinator of the National Human Rights Commission, Abia State, Barrister Uche Nwokocha, and also we want to have the account of the Nscdc, that's talking about the organization in focus in this beam light right here concerning the issues on ground extrajudicial killings by security officials in Abia State. So we will be talking to the PRO of that particular organization this morning on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. So we understand Nigerian security agents are presently enforcing the coronavirus lockdown in Nigeria. But according to the report by the National Human Rights Commission, the security agents have killed more citizens in the last 2 weeks than the deadly virus. That's according to the National Human Rights Commission. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Mr. Agu, good morning to you.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Am I on to the Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Civil Defense Corps here in Abia State? Nigeria Security Civil Defense Corps in Abia State.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just for confirmation, what's your name, sir?
Okay. My name is DSC Ndukwe Agro Ebu.
All right.
Yes, like you have said earlier, the Public Relations Officer, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Abia State Command, Umaye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your organization is on the beam light. I'm sure you're aware of what happened on Wednesday that involved your officer and a deceased, that's talking about the driver. So what is your account of the story?
Okay. Before I go on with the account, I would want to, since I have not been called before in this kind of program, I want to use this opportunity to sincerely appreciate the members of the Fourth Estate of the Rim, the gentlemen of the press, especially those in Abia. You guys are doing wonderfully well. I also want to state that in the past, you have helped the Corps to bring to wide publicity
many invaluable achievements the Corps has recorded in Abia State in the areas of petroleum product pipeline protection and other infrastructure, critical infrastructures of government. But in the midst of all these, I have always told myself that one day I could be called upon as well to give account of a news that may not be too palatable. And this is one of such days. Anyway, I want to state that the incident at Umueka Junction, is quite an unfortunate one, and like you want to know the account from the side of civil defense. The operatives of the Corps were in the enforcement duty of the lockdown order by the state government when the incident happened. And it will also be good at this moment to clear some issues.
So what exactly is your account of the story? I mean, the organization's account of the story.
The account is that the men were officially posted for the enforcement exercise of the lockdown order. And a driver in the name of someone identified as Amobi Igwe was racing towards the checkpoint, and normally the officers on duty will flag you down because when you speed dangerously towards them is also a threat to their lives. So what we do, like a civil defense we apply civility in everything we do. They were flagged down, and he was flagged down, and rather than slow down, he accelerated further and sped dangerously towards them. And even skidded the barricade. You know, we do put barricade in at the checkpoint. So he skidded the barricade and even brushed one of our officers there. The action of the driver raised suspicion that he could be a criminal who may have committed somewhere and running to beat security. And an attempt by one of the officers in the team to bust the tire to enforce compliance on him. The bullet traced and hit the driver. Attempt was made to rush him to the nearby hospital, and it was then he was confirmed dead.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for your account of the story. But we want to know, how do you ascertain a criminal before opening fire on a suspected criminal?
The fire was not opened directly on the driver. If you had listened attentively, I said the tire was targeted. And, in a situation like that, the marksmanship of the firer could have been altered. And the target was the tire, and it was straight, and the bullet hit the driver, which is quite unfortunate.
Okay, the bullet was meant to hit the tires, but with the pictures we're getting, Mr. Agu, it says otherwise. Some of the pictures is telling another story. I don't know what your investigations are saying, Mr. Agu.
Well, full-scale investigation is on, but preliminary investigation we have, among other things, it's also right to use this opportunity to debunk some rumors making the rounds in the social media.
That what?
Some versions carry that the young man was conveying food items. If you look at the picture of the one making round in the social media, you won't see any food item either close to the driver's side or within the boot. So we are not happy with what happened, but it's also good that we put records straight. We don't shield our officers because there are rules of engagement and professionalism guiding everything we do, including the use of firearms. But where an officer or is suspected to have erred, a full investigation will be carried out, and the outcome of it will be made public. We don't hide anything. We can't shield our officer because we know.
Where is the officer in question now?
The officer, we know the rules, we know the law. The officer has been handed over to the Nigerian police, and I think full-scale investigation has commenced, and the outcome of it, like I said, will be made public, and to ascertain the culpability of the officer. And if it's found to have been to have gone contrary to the rules and the laws of the land, well, he will face the consequences of his actions.
Okay.
And
I'm happy you mentioned that there are rules of engagement in releasing firearms now. In your preliminary investigations, which I'm sure you've done, did he follow the rules, the guidelines in place in releasing a bullet during incidents like that?
That is why I earlier said preliminary, which means there are some parts of the investigations that have not been concluded, and that will be part of the remaining investigations. And when it is done, we'll make it public.
All right. The deed is done now, but we want to find a lasting solution to this particular issue. What are you doing to forestall future occurrences?
Well, we are doing great. We value civilians. If you check our name, civil is there, which means we are part of the civil populace. And what we have done, the moment that thing happened, the commandant has made frantic efforts to contact the family of the deceased. We don't run away from our responsibility. We are in talks with the family of the deceased. That is one. Secondly, we have briefed our men and sensitized them. You can see what we've done. Even if you watch around from this morning, you will see many of them brandishing rifles. We have told them that this is not war. Although an average Nigerian may not want to obey simple rules, except a minimal force is seen to have applied or about to be applied. But what we have done, we have withdrawn with rifles from our men who are out there enforcing the lockdown. The orders of government must be carried out, and we are appealing to people. When you drive close to a checkpoint, no matter your position, I am a security officer. Even when I drive and see these traffic officers who do not bear rifles, they say traffic officers in yellow and black, I do stop because you give respect to whom respect is due. I introduce myself. It's only when they abuse my introduction that I may apply a little, do you know who I am?
All right.
But I want to appeal to good people of Abia to stay at home and stay safe.
All right,
the lockdown order continues until government says otherwise.
Thank you very much.
And we'll seek your cooperation. Together, we'll continue to win.
All right, Mr. Ondukwe, Agu, thank you very much. The PRO officer of the Nscdc here in Abia State. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Okay, I told you earlier that it's a multifaceted program. We will be talking to a representative of the National Human Rights Commission. You've heard the Nscdc's account, but we want to hear from the government. It's one killing too many here in Abia State. In fact, we got to report that there is another killing already this morning. Of course, we're yet to get the details. So as soon as we get the details, we will definitely let you know about that. But let's head straight to get the reaction of the government, Abia State government. It's been one killing too many in Abia by our security agencies. So we need to know what the government is doing. Probably try to get across to a member of the committee on COVID-19. So we're taking a look at the extrajudicial killings here in Nigeria, and also particularly in Abia State, talking about the security operatives ensuring the lockdown. So we have a member of the committee on COVID-19, and also the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Chief John Okiyekalu, joining us this morning. Honorable Commissioner, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Michael.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's been one killing too many in Abia State by our security agencies. What is your reaction to all this?
It is unfortunate. It is heart-rending. It is annoying, to put it mildly, that we are losing our people this way to carelessness and sometimes unnecessary use of firearm. I want to use this opportunity to condole with the family of the man who lost his life at Nhrc Junction and the other medical attendant in Abia who lost his life. I want to assure the family that Abia State government, led by Dr. Ikpeazu, will not spare anything in taking those involved to justice and bringing justice to the family that are there right now. I listened to the civil defense man, and I wish to appeal to him to please stop speaking.
What are you saying? The government? Are you saying the government is disagreeing with the explanation of the Nscdc on that particular issue?
Speaking. We are saying that he should stop speaking. Let police conduct proper investigation. Because I have seen images of how that man was shot. I don't know. Let him stop speaking. I don't want to talk, please, so that I don't say the wrong thing on air. Let him just stop.
So how
have confidence that the police will do proper investigation, and whoever is culpable will be brought to justice. We expect justice to be done in that matter and in all matters involving extrajudicial killing. This state government will not keep quiet and allow you to kill Abians.
I'm sure you're not. I'm sure
there are guidelines and rules regarding the use of firearms.
I'm sure you're not happy
if
with.
You are telling me on air that you try to shoot a tire and you shot through a glass to kill an Abian. I don't know what you are talking about. And I'm asking you to stop speaking right now. So that we can mourn quietly. And the police be allowed to do their proper investigation. We are determined to enforce the lockdown in a humane way that does not involve the loss of life. Abians did not create COVID-19. As a government, we are taking measures to protect the police, the civil defense, the army, and the general populace from COVID-19. Nobody should hide behind that to kill any Abian. Whether at Orata, or at Omweka, or at any petrol station. Operate within the rules given to you by the police force, by the civil defense force, by the army, regarding the use of firearms. You cannot fire somebody and tell me that you are trying to shoot fire, and I'm seeing bullets piercing through glasses, and somebody is right on his seat, and he was gone down on his seat.
All right, just a moment, Honorable Commissioner. Honorable Commissioner, just a moment. You're a member of the COVID-19 committee right here in Abia State. Is there no synergy between the committee and security operatives ensuring the lockdown?
There is synergy.
So what happened?
We continue to engage at the level of meeting with the security chiefs. See, what happened is unfortunate. When the police, when they were involved, they apologized. And they brought their men into custody. And that man is undergoing investigation and will soon be arranged as properly expected. That's fair enough. But when you come back as it was and you start with denial and you are trying to explain to us that your man is in protective custody instead of investigative custody, it annoys the people of Abia State. And it annoys their commissioner for information that you are doing that. And he's saying to you, please, in the name of God, stop speaking.
Okay.
Let us move quietly and meet you at the level of COVID-19 committee and discuss these issues.
Just before I let you go,
I assure the people of Abia State that will feel their pains regarding the loss of the young man in Nhrc, regarding the loss of the man in the petrol attendant in Abia. We are actively reviewing the report regarding what exactly happened at Orata. As at this moment, there is no confirmation of anybody dying.
Okay.
We have a stable situation there. If there is confirmation, the needful will be done. But there is a stable situation. I want to call on the people of Abia State to also help themselves. If there is a lockdown and you have no reason to be outside your house, what are you doing outside? If there is a lockdown and you are not carrying food or drugs, what are you doing on the road?
All right.
What is that on the road? These people that are coming out to against the directive on lockdown, what they are doing is to endanger the rest of us. You are endangering 5 million Abians, which is much more than your own life. If you have no business officially being outside, why are you outside?
All right. Before I let you go this morning,
I hear that death is on the road. Death is on our streets.
Honorable Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
Before I let you go this morning, we're expecting an announcement from the government. The relaxation of the lockdown is meant to be today after the first extension for 7 days. And today is the last day. So what is the directive coming from the government at this moment?
I'm speaking to you from Abia, where the governor is sitting in review of the lockdown. We will make announcements regarding the way forward. But our people must know this. If we have achieved a total lockdown, it will be a lot easier to isolate those who may have had COVID-19. But what we have had so far is not satisfactory. Our borders remain porous. People are coming to Puni. People are not listening to advice to stay at home. And we are going to review all that and make a decision. But I want to assure the people of Abia State that whatever decision we take, we'll take care of their short and long-term interests. We do not want this disease in Abia State. We want to be able to protect our people by preventing this thing from coming. And the only way we can do it at this time is to completely seal our borders and then lock down inside so that if there is anybody that has this virus, we can identify and help in managing the person back to good health.
All right.
But when our people have refused to lock down and people continue to take money from people at borders to allow them to pass, it becomes difficult to make the decision to end the lockdown.
Okay.
But we are doing an announcement will be made in due course.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner, for information, and also a member of the COVID-19 committee here in Abia State, Chief John Okikalu. Okay, there you have the government side of the story, government reaction coming from the Commissioner for Information and also a member of the COVID-19 committee. Now, we want to hear from the National Human Rights Commission here in Abia State, the coordinator. We will be speaking to Barrister Uche Nwokocha a couple of minutes, but it is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. As we're trying to, get a connection proper to speak to Barrister this morning, let's open the phone lines. I know you want to say, you want to, reveal your reactions, reveal your opinion. You want to make your opinions known. I'm going to open the phone lines right now. 0808 182 6949. You can also call 0811 605 2949. Messages on 0906 510 8289. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Mr. C.
Good morning to you. It's Michael.
Most of these our leaders talking of staying at home and you have to listen.
Can you move away from your radio set, please?
Most of these are leaders talking of staying at home and don't go out. The issue is that they don't know what people are going through. Nobody wants to stay at home. You can imagine what is going on in Lagos now. when they called me this morning that how every year armed robbers, they brought the light. They should try and give that thing they have promised to give to the masses. Like our place, we've not gotten anything, and the state government is giving this, is giving that, but we have not seen anything. So who is deceiving who? The one they say they get to church, we have not even seen anything. Are you getting me? So please, they should try and understand that the masses also want to stay at home, but the issue is that there is no food that people can eat.
All right.
That is the problem.
Your name, please, before we let you go. So that
My
we
name
can
is
document.
Ifeanyi.
Thank you very much, Ifeanyi. Hello, good morning to you. We lost that 0808 182 6949. 0811 605 2949. Morning to you.
Morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Who's the man that I'm calling from Mumbai?
You're welcome.
Please, I want to condole the family of the disease that happened at Jamaica. Like we said, extrajudicial killing is not supposed to be permitted in Abia State and every other place in Nigeria. The issue remains, it's supposed to be a two-way traffic. In as much as we are condemning the extrajudicial killing, but Abians should have, as in, if peradventure you are asked to stop or whatever from people that are carrying arms, it is better you stop or whatever. But because if those people kill, the person that is dead will not be alive to know what is going on. In as much as we condemn, I totally condemn, because the extrajudicial killing is getting out of hand. Like the Commissioner of Information said, why must these people be carrying on like the DSP, civil defense said that they was trying to shoot the tire and shot the person. Why
please wrap up your thoughts.
At the first one? It's very, very unfortunate that we find ourselves in this area. But I'm pleading to Abians to start to observe these things. By the grace of God, it will come to pass. It will be over. Anymore.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have Barrister Uche Nwakocha joining us this morning on the conversation, the coordinator of the National Human Rights Commission. Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good morning, dear. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. My name is Michael. Glad to have you join us this morning. Now, I know you must have heard of the extrajudicial killings here in Abia State and also in Nigeria and some parts of the country. What do you make of the harassment and even death of Nigerian citizens in some avoidable incidents such as this?
It's a very unfortunate incident that people are being killed. Our office, National Human Rights Commission, has noted publicly that extrajudicial killing by law enforcement agents have caused more deaths than COVID-19 itself. What is the cause of all this? I think it's impatience, high-handedness on the part of the law enforcers. If they are more patient with the people, things like lockdown takes time to become very effective. Initially, people will be running around to meet one kind of engagement or the other, buy food stuff, gather families together. So we have to give them time to actually be locked down. But our law enforcement agents, they are so impatient. At the least hesitation, the least provocation, they are kicking people's wells down, they are flogging people, they are shooting people, they are doing all manner of things to people in the name of enforcing the lockdown. Yes, I agree on lockdown. It is good. So far, that is the only acceptable way of stopping COVID-19 spread in the communities. It is good for us. But we shall not all be killed because of lockdown. Even today, I've just been informed that another person was shot by a policeman at Nhrc Junction in Abia. Just this morning. The thing is so much that I'm even though I know how good lockdown is for us, I'm even suggesting if the lifting of the lockdown will stop the extrajudicial killings, let us leave the lockdown so that people will live. This is just just getting too much.
All right. Do we
the
have?
people that are enforcing the lockdown are so indisciplined themselves. You see them, they're clustered together. They're telling you about social distancing. They're clustered together. Soon they'll be telling you about covering your face with masks. Why they're not covering their own face? I think something has to be done about these people.
All right.
I don't know what the problem is.
Do we have a place to blame the civilians too in these incidents?
Sorry?
I'm talking about the civilians now, those that have been involved, or talking about the citizens, the civilians on the street. Do they have a blame in all these incidents?
Incidents of extrajudicial killing?
Yes.
My answer to that is no. My answer to that is no. Part of the blame will go to the people that called for the lockdown.
The report.
Which law is governing? Sorry, sir.
The report
Which
we're
law
getting.
Is governing lockdown in Abia State? Is there a law governing lockdown in Abia State?
The report we're getting is that the security agencies are saying, well, people are not complying. When you are being flagged down, you start arguing with the security operators.
What do you do to them? When people do not comply with an order, with a law, with an instruction, what do you do to them? You take them to court. You don't shoot them. You don't flog them. You don't kill them. Once an order is given, once a law is made, it's expected that some people will disobey. And it is because that some people will disobey, that is why the law enforcement agents are on the road. It's expected that people should disobey. It is not good that they should disobey, but it's expected. It is because of that expectation of disobedience. That is why they are there.
Okay.
It is because of expectation of disobedience to law and order. That is why we have the police and other law enforcement agents.
Okay. Are you reaching out?
It's expectation that people will not always do what the traffic rules and laws say they should do. That's why we have the road safety. So once there is a law, once there is an order, the expectation is that some people, not everybody, some people will not obey.
All right, Barrister.
It is the human nature. It is expected. That is why they are there.
Barrister.
To make sure that they obey, that not to kill them.
All right. Barrister, is your commission reaching out to the victims and the affected agencies?
What?
Is your commission reaching out to the victims and affected agencies?
Of course, we are reaching out to them. We are reaching out to them, and they're telling us stories we do not understand.
So can there be an end?
Their stories, we do not understand their stories. We understand the stories of the witnesses to the events. We've been talking to them.
Interesting. So can there be an end to this carnage?
The end to the carnage is the security agents that are enforcing lockdown. They should go about without arms. If they cannot enforce the lockdown without arms, let them go to their offices and barracks and sit down. Because as far as they carry around those lethal weapons, people can be very annoying.
So how
crowds can be difficult to control.
How can they ensure?
Cannot control without arms.
Yes.
Let them go and sit down in their barracks and their let them go and sit down in their barracks and in their offices.
How can they ensure?
People.
How can they ensure lockdown of law and order? Of course, ensure law and order rather without bearing arms. Are there ways they can go
then
about?
Why are you discussing about their killing people? Arms are supposed to be used to kill people. If you ask somebody and send the person to any place, you are asking the person so you can shoot. That's the instruction you are giving to the person.
I understand. Thank you very much, Barrister.
You cannot arm somebody, give the person arms, give the person bullets, guns, and all these lethal weapons, and ask the person, okay, go to the crowd, go and control.
Interesting. All right. Thank you very much, Barrister. We hope to get back to you as the event unfolds concerning these extrajudicial killings in Abia State.
Welcome.
Thank you very much,
You're
Barrister
welcome.
Uche Nwokocha, the coordinator of the National Human Rights Commission, Abia State Chapter. I'm not sure if time will permit to get your reactions on our phone lines and also on the SMS line. We do have some messages here. Good morning, Michael. I am Steve from Old Umahia. No one, be you whoever, has the to take life which you can't give. No matter the way the officer from Nscdc wants to justify the death of that man, it is highly condemnable and disheartening. Please take away from and give them batons till this pandemic is over. What use is all their training when self-control is deficit? All right. Good morning, Michael. Keenly listening to all the analysis made by your participants. Well, as for me, I never expected the Nscdc man to say something contrary, as that has been the security agency's hallmark of the Nhrc act of intolerance. It's quite a pity and shame. RIP to the deceased. I'm Godwin. Hello, Michael. I want to use this medium to suggest to the government of Abia State to review the lockdown, not to lock the borders, but instead place temperature checkers at the border so that people will not sneak into the states, thereby circumventing the good efforts of the governor, David Azubike. All right, David. Good day, sir. Not police that collect money. Nigeria Road Safety are also collecting money from each bus. Okay, from Umeka Junction, Emeka from Owerri. Good morning, Samson. Coronavirus have not killed anybody in Abia State, but the law enforcement had killed many people. You can lock down the person, but not his stomach. Pastor Beloved. All right, those are your messages. Thank you very much. I do appreciate your time this morning. The program returns on Monday. That's going to be a fresh week next week. Thank you very much. Many thanks to the producer of the program, Samson Eze. My name is Michael Oni. Don't forget to stay safe. Wash your hands regularly for at least 20 seconds with soap and water, and also the use of hand sanitizers is very important. My name is Michael Oni. Do enjoy the rest of your day.